We're back. We are back with Group B, starting off our first game here. Over in the top left-hand corner, our American Terran, the father of StarCraft, the StarCraft dad. It's Artosis.
All right, we have to whisper because Artosis is literally next to us, but he has his aircraft headphones on and he is ready to go. So his opponent in the other position, see what I did there? I'm concealing the CIA information, is the blue Terran player TerrOr. Uh-oh, I revealed that he's in the blue color. That's going to give away all the info. No, but this is going to be a TVT, and if there's anybody that loves the honorable knightly duel, that is Terran versus Terran, it is Artosis. So I imagine he's going to feel just at home because this is the only matchup where you can't complain about some of the units being overpowered.
Yes, of course. That is true. That is very, very true. He's just going to have to outplay his opponent here, TerrOr. I think that, where is TerrOr right now? Is he in some corner, some back corner?
He's way over there.
Oh yeah, look at his webcam looks pretty dark right now. He's hiding out in the back of the room. And
they have him stashed away in a closet somewhere. He's not allowed to be in the room with the rest of us. He's got acute hearing skills and can tell what we're saying. No, I don't know. We're seeing TerrOr go for a cross scout here. Ambitious move, but he's not going to find anything. And so that means that Artosis has the macro advantage. One more worker might... No, I'm just kidding.
Well, let's see if this end scout ends up paying off, because TerrOr, he's got two choices now, either the bottom right or the top left. And if he scouts bottom right, he's going to have the latest possible SCV scout imaginable here, and it is indeed going to be that bottom right that he's going to scout. Ouch.
I'm already imagining the copium. Well, you see, now Terran has the most difficult scouting patterns of all the races. I couldn't have scouted every... This is the optimal scouting pattern for this map, guys. I don't know. I mean, either way, I mean, yeah, no scouting information's rough. And at this point, you have to have that little voice in the back of your head that says, well, I scouted everywhere and I didn't see anything, so anything is possible. And then you start panicking and wondering if there's zealots about to be dropped in your base. Well, I mean, it's TVT, but, you know, metaphorical zealots.
Well, let's do a little check here. Everything's going well so far. Lip APM is very, very low here for Artosis, but blazing away at 390 APM on his keyboard as he is ready to go, man. I saw him practicing earlier. He's like on top of it. He's got his full setup there and he's ready to go. TerrOr here throwing down his first factory. Both players on mirrored builds, but just like right on top of each other in terms of their economies.
Yeah, really, really cool to see. Not only high APM, not only preparation for this match, for this build, or for this matchup, rather. Excuse me. But, I mean, the more even that it is, the better that we get a chance to see how these guys stack up against each other. Now, Artosis and TerrOr have played each other before, but spoiler alert, it's the matchup's a little bit in TerrOr's favor. But obviously, all it takes is one good fight, and Artosis absolutely knows if there's one thing that Artosis is better at than anybody else, it's when he has an advantage, it's letting that advantage slip. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I just want to see what happens once we finally get a chance to watch this happen. And obviously, it's going to be big, bad mech versus met. Oh my god, surprise. And so we're already floating the barracks over, trying to get that big bad scout off. Artosis will finally figure out what is happening on the other side of the map.
So one thing that's been happening recently in TVT is at the pro level, at the highest levels of play, TVT has actually been getting shorter and shorter as time has gone on. People have been getting more and more aggressive with their builds, and the Vulture War rarely in 2023 rarely ends in like a split map situation where both players are, you know, mining out and going into battle cruisers. That just doesn't happen as much as it used to. So we're gonna have to pay really close attention here to see who can get an advantage in the early game and whether they can end before we get into that late game situation.
And that's right. And my question is, okay, well, when do we start fighting, right? And already we have the answer to that with Infiel. I thought that was a different word. TerrOr coming across the map with his first few vultures. And so this is the stat check, right? Can you deal with this? And the answer is obviously yes. 2 Marines, 3 vultures are going to do really well. If you can pick off a Marine or 2, then that'll be fine. Committing for the battle, that's not bad. Another reinforcement vulture comes through, but I think the better shots, oh, the SCV is coming. Just sacking all these vultures, is this something you feel like he just had to do?
Yeah, I think he... okay. He came in, he sniped the 2 Marines, so he was trying to get rid of that early DPS, and now, well, his barracks, which is flying in towards Artosis' natural, has free reign. It can just fly in there, it can see everything, and it will never be killed until there's like a Wraith or something out, or a Goliath to actually push that away. So on the other side of the map, Artosis is going to be pushed out with his barracks, so he's not going to have full scouting information, but he has more vultures now, and he's got those mines here, so he's going to have map control, and he's going to have that information coming from the mines. So a bit of a trade there, right? TerrOr gets rid of the Marines. Now his barracks has full vision, and then Artosis, wins that fight. He's got more vultures. He's going to be able to put down those mines for vision of his own.
Yeah, but the big deal right now is that Artosis just has fewer factories, so the longer this game goes on, the stronger and stronger Terran is going to be straight up vulture versus vulture. And it's a stat check. Do you have as much right now? Yes or no decides the game. And right now the answer is no. So Terra is going to dive bomb on in here, and there is just not enough here from Artosis. He's got to pull back. He's lost so many vultures. The focus fire, godlike from Terra. He's busting through. The Goliaths come out, but I think he might even have enough to just straight up fight that. No, under the barracks might not be enough, but yeah, the worker losses coming through here as Artosis is forced to pull off of his natural, taking huge losses.
Yeah, the plan here from Artosis was just to switch techs in the midst of this vulture war, but that can be a really dangerous proposition. You're building, an armory. It takes some time. Then you have to build the Goliaths, and the Goliaths do great against these vultures, but mines that he placed out around the map to kind of secure his position and give him vision don't help you at all against the vulture counterattack. And well, now Artosis has what it takes to actually hold back the vultures with 4 Goliaths out here. He's lost quite a few SCVs, and he's now pretty far behind TerrOr in his overall position. Look at that, 79 to 46. It's going to be a hard comeback here for Artosis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing is during all of that, Artosis, I think, was supply blocked for like half a minute. So he was in a rough spot, having to focus on a bunch of different things. And obviously, he's double quotes held on for now. But the whole TVT thing is it's just such a battle of attrition. So you really just have to, it's about the little tiny differences. And obviously, Artosis is not in a great spot right now. He's doing his best to push out and try to fend this off. He's poking with vultures because he knows if he gets too close to that mine, oh, look at this micro. Here we go. Oh, Artosis, whoa, gets it down. So no damage from that mine. He does get the scan off, so he will be able to power through that minefield, but he can't go up to the high ground yet.
The most important thing right now for Artosis is he needs to keep some position in front of his natural. If TerrOr is allowed to keep these mines here, and then he moves, comes out across the map with tanks and sets up right across this bridge here, it's going to be almost impossible for Artosis to move out and actually take a reasonable fight. So he's got to stay mobile and push across that bridge and set up a line of tanks for a more defensible position, but at the same time, he can't allow those vultures to move around the top side and come in for the backstab into the natural and kill a bunch of probes. Here it goes. He's going to try and run by. No, backing away there. Artosis is quick enough to block that off.
Yeah, so Artosis pulling back, and I mean, obviously, he's just going to be stuck in his base for a little bit longer. His tech is okay, but it's the unit count, right? He's doing a great job trying to stop these vulture backstabs from coming through, so to his credit, TerrOr is getting nowhere there. The biggest issue is macro. The long game. TerrOr is already getting up his next base, and Artosis won't be able to punch out for another base for a while.
Yeah, we've got 4 factories here for TerrOr, only 3 for Artosis, and he's building a barracks back at home right now. So that barracks that was floating across the map was killed, which is the real reason here why he wasn't able to add on more factories. And they're just falling so far behind in macro because of that. Not only the SCVs getting killed, but also the lack of the ability to build factories because of that barracks being killed.
Artosis coming out with his expo right now. Was maybe a little bit premature about that, but he is getting that third base down at the 9 o'clock position. Siege Tank on the high ground, Goliath on the ramp. That's not bad, but the problem is he just doesn't have as many units. He's down 20 supply, and in a straight-up head-to-head battle, it's just going to be rough. I mean, high ground, siege tanks, obviously anything can happen. And I think to his credit, TerrOr is not forcing the issue. This is a classic TVT move. You get a little bit of an advantage, then you macro for 45 minutes and win the game.
Yeah, that's a characterization of TVT. But we've got the middle of the map being held here by TerrOr. And in a lot of cases in TVT, just holding a better position is going to end up winning the game in the long run. Now running forward here with the vultures. This is a big trade right now. Does he have mines to lay on top of this? If he had mines right now, he could kill every single tank. Looks like he still will kill just about all of them with that splash damage. No unsiege here for Artosis, unfortunately. And TerrOr running forward once again. He's going to lose a tank here.
I was actually a little bit more even. I thought the splash might split between the tanks, but either way, I mean, Artosis holds on to a tentative berth here in the middle of the map. And obviously, if you want to fast forward 45 minutes, then this is important, right? Because you have to secure the rest of the bases around the ring. But I think we might be getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. I mean, it was a 20 unit, supply advantage there for TerrOr only moments ago, and now it's dead even? Hello? Is this a tied game?
Yeah, it's a very close game right now. More factors being added on both sides. Artosis, actually, despite not having the map control for quite some time, got the third base out quicker and got his rallies over there, got his SCVs over there to start mining before TerrOr got his third base operational. Now TerrOr is going to take his turn and try to get a base out here a little bit faster. Throwing down a command center down in the bottom right-hand corner. Wants to get that fourth base up and operational as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I was talking about the berth that Artosis had in the middle. If there's one thing he knows about, it's probably berths, but he doesn't have that really anymore, as now TerrOr is starting to encroach upon his territory further and further. To Artosis' credit, he is stopping TerrOr's attempted run-bys, and now actually Artie, he's going for it. He's reinforcing the center position and trying to stay alive. But, Wraith on Wraith battle, and TerrOr's Wraith gets the first shot, which means that he will win the battle. And that is just heartbreaking to watch.
Losing that battle, unfortunate for Artosis. Now he's not going to have that long-range vision that the Wraith grants. But he does have Goliath to at least protect his tanks from Wraith play for the moment. Double expansion down in the bottom right for TerrOr right now. He's just getting so many bases up and operational. There's a good pathway here for Artosis to get around the bottom side. There's not a lot blocking him from actually sending vultures down there to deal with that, but he's just not sending anything to that bottom right. TerrOr's getting away with murder right now, putting a bunch of bases online.
And honestly, the sad thing for all of you action movie fans is that building more bases is like kind of how you like win. So I mean, he's doing a great job. However, Artosis' macro is really kicking in. He's busy building units while TerrOr is trying to, triple, quadruple expand around the world. And so Artosis is he's checking his back door first. He's saying, okay, did you expand down here unceremoniously? No, you did not. And so either he's just going to go down there and expand too, and I think that's actually what's going to happen, or he's going to coalesce in the center of the map and try to make a big bad bust and see if TerrOr can deal with it. Okay, now's not the time, so just stalemate continuing. I think Artosis is taking the maybe the wrong angle here and choosing to try to expand, but he's so much slower, and crucially, he does not have that 6 o'clock position.
Wow, TerrOr even going to take 6 right now. That is wild. This is like pretty optimistic here by TerrOr, and I think Artosis has some locations he could definitely break through. This is one of those spots down here at the 6 o'clock, but just above this, there's actually nothing defending TerrOr's side of the map. Artosis with that big army could move over here to the right-hand side and cut off reinforcements coming southward. Oh, those are actually mines.
I was going to say, it looks like there's like twice as many units as there actually are, because half of them are mines. Free units, by the way. Anyway, here we go. Artosis is going to go for it. Big unsiege. Vultures going through, and siege tanks hitting most of the vultures in the front. Artosis pile driving this middle position, and TerrOr is going to lose everything here.
Yeah, TerrOr gonna lose so many tanks right now. It's the perfect time to be breaking through because TerrOr's still on 0-0 on his units, and Artosis only has 1-0, so we're still very far away from that critical upgrade. +2 attack has not come through for either player. Still punching in here. Artosis is going to break through all the lines, and setting up this position right here is deadly. Okay, 3 Wraiths coming to the front. This could actually change the math here because there's no Goliaths right now for Artosis to push this away.
Yeah, Artosis had a few Goliaths earlier, but he hasn't reinforced them, and choosing just these 3 Wraiths is going to be such a huge... I mean, obviously not huge because they're kind of flying paperweights, but here come the reinforcement Goliaths. Man, already had these waiting in the wings for just a time like this. He's going to push the Wraiths back away. He does have scan here, so this is not really going to be a huge issue with the cloak, but it is still super annoying, especially if he doesn't see it. Oh, Artosis, come on. Come on, buddy. There we go. All right. Oh my God. My heart. This is a rough spot to be in for TerrOr. Obviously he has infinite bases down south, so the race is, can TerrOr mine faster than he loses his bases?
Yeah, can he break through this containment that Artosis has set up out in front of his natural? If he gets out here and saves some bases, maybe he can stay in this game, but Artosis is going to eventually rally down here to the bottom right and kill all of these locations. Meanwhile, Artosis' bases in the bottom left have been kind of pushed back, and he needs to get those operational here once again. He needs to, send some forces down there to handle that attack, but TerrOr's starting to move forward. You got to balance all of these different attacks at the same time. You have to balance attacking the bottom right, stopping the bottom center, and holding TerrOr back in his base all at the same time. This is a very difficult moment here. So much action going on the map. It's really hard for Observer to handle everything that's going on right now and keep an eye on all the stuff that's happening. You can just imagine what it's like for the players.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is TVT, so obviously it's going to be a grand scale. This is some Supreme Commander stuff right here. The whole point is that look at the banks, right? We've got massive supply advantage for Artosis. Huge banks for both players. And can TerrOr... Oh, he's trying to make a big bust here, but I think Artosis is handling this perfectly. Mines on top of the tanks, laid right in the clump of the siege tanks. They're trying to come out, but he dodges the mine hit. Oh, my God, that would have been huge. Artosis does a great job at stopping TerrOr in his tracks, holding on to this position, and continuing to macro behind this, because behind this, it's not about this army right here. It's about what Artosis has back in his base, and he's got a lot. He has a 50 supply advantage. He just has to bring it to bear across the map.
50 supply advantage, and he has +2 done. +2 is finished here. That is a huge break point for the Terran army. He's going to be killing those tanks in 2 shots rather than 3. And oh God, the mine hits here, just crushing Terran's tanks. He's going to come forward with some more vultures. He's really cutting things off. And remember what I said earlier about Artosis not wanting to get trapped over his natural bridge? Well, that's about to happen to TerrOr because Artosis is pushing right on top of this bridge. He's going to be able to set up here right outside of the rally.
Oh my God. Oh no, he's running into siege fire. No, that's not what you want to do. The Rays coming back, and actually this is quite a bit more Rays than I expected. The tank count solidly in Artosis' advantage, but he needs to diversify his tech here. Okay, the Goliath's coming through. He hits the scan, maybe a little bit premature, loses a tank. Cloak is not going to stop him there. He has another scan banked up. There it is, coming through. It does tag a few of the Rays, still one surviving. Great job dealing with these Rays here. Behind this, Artosis does have quite a big economy, but keep in mind, guys, TerrOr is still mining off of 5 quadrillion bases, so the losses here, whatever. Artosis has a bigger army, whatever, but if he's not killing bases with it, then what are we doing? So Siege stopping the construction of that the 12 o'clock base. Bottom bases going gangbusters for TerrOr, and so Artosis, like, he's got a big advantage. Congratulations, but like, what are we doing with it, right? He's got to get out there and get some damage done.
Yeah, absolutely. These 3 tanks at the bottom right-hand corner have held off for just a ridiculous amount of time. These should not have been able to keep these bases alive down there. They're not even on high ground or anything. They're just sitting there in a defensive position. Here's 1 tank defending 6 o'clock. Unbelievable this has been allowed to go on for as long as it has, but finally it's going to be shut down here by Artosis. Going to prevent this gas mining from going on any longer, and he should be able to now take the bases in the bottom left-hand corner and secure them effectively.
And keep in mind, this is the way you're supposed to play the game. As the game goes on, we could absolutely get into massive battle cruiser battles if nobody's able to secure a huge advantage. To be honest, Artosis with this huge lead, he killed that 3 o'clock base, but he hasn't been able to deal with the bottom right. It's so hugely entrenched, and he hasn't transferred any of his SCVs, so he's on like 2 less bases than it looks like right now. He's done a great job with the micro. He's got to pull it back, macro up, get his economy straightened up, and then maybe move on to the next phase of this match.
We've got drop ships from Artosis here. This can be a double-edged sword. If this works out really well, he might be able to end the game here, but if he messes this up and loses all of his drop ships or his units in an ineffective manner, he's going to end up throwing away all the lead that he's worked so hard to build. Dropships are heading up towards the top center. If he's going for the main, he's got to go directly for the main. If he's going for these units, I'm going to be pretty surprised. Just dropping on top of this? Is that what he's doing?
I think he just might. He's coming over. I think he actually intended, to drop right on top of it. 1 missile tower. Thank you, please. Goodbye. Everything else. Artosis masterfully securing that 12 o'clock location and moving closer and closer to Terran's main.
Yeah, the dropships are going to give him vision here inside the main. Tanks sieging up here on the low ground. This is super annoying for TerrOr. He's not going to like the look of this right now. Oh, he needs to use a scan. Use a scan. We need to see a scan here from Artosis. No scan.
No scan. Oh, no. He's going to lose everything here. Man, that could have been such a huge position if he was able to solidify it. Instead, loses everything. Now has to back off. He did secure this 12 o'clock location, but I mean, the supply tell the story, right? He was 50 supply up before, now only 10 supply up, and with Terra solidifying the bottom right-hand corner, he's got minerals for days.
Yeah, he was so far behind at one point. Now he's actually kind of even things out here, about to max out himself. He should have +2 now. He does have +1 armor, but it'll be much harder for Artosis to break through any positions. If he throws an army away into a bunch of siege tanks, he could completely throw this game. Now coming out against the army here of Artosis that was supposed to be defending across this bridge, but it's a minuscule force compared to what I expected here. And TerrOr's just going to rip through this easily and break out onto the map. And yeah, this is bad.
No, I think this might be it. Artosis does have a superior force on the high ground. He's coming down and does have a beautiful siege wall. The dropships and the raids are not going to be effectual with all these Goliaths here. And actually, TerrOr pushed into, or he pushed out, but right into a massive wall of Artosis. So that is, it's a great spot for Artosis to control now. He's segmented the top and the bottom bases across from each other. And I don't know if this is a throw just yet, because Artosis made a great move there. He secured his entire side of the map, and I think he starting to realize, hey, wait a second, I got to get everything going back at home, maintain this strong position in the middle, and he's actually doing a great job of it.
Yeah, he's getting more bases online right now. 12 o'clock's coming up. The base just outside of his naturals coming up as well. I believe that's a mineral-only base. Bottom left is becoming saturated here as well. He's going to get another base over there in the main at bottom left. 12 is going to be pushed away here. TerrOr with a few too many units, but did he take too much away from the natural? Maybe Artosis is just going to go for the throat here.
Oh my god. Here we go. I can't be too loud because Artosis is right over there. But oh my god, guys, this might just be it. He's making a huge move straight up the middle. There is a wall of mines here, but getting siege positioning here is going to be massive. Big mines, no scans on top of the mines. They do take out a large part of this force, but still, this is an absolute death grip for Artosis right up the middle. Now, big problem though, ferrying a massive amount of tanks over to the bottom left, and this is a huge move from TerrOr. He's making, this is his gambit, right? Can he deal more damage to the bottom right or bottom left, crush Artosis' economy before Artosis deletes his main? There's no more minerals in the main for TerrOr, right? He's done with all of that. He doesn't have his production here, so this is going to be a race against the clock. Artosis and TerrOr tied on supplies in equally damning positions to deal damage to each other. But I think TerrOr is being more proactive. Artosis seemingly sort of locked up here outside the main base, and the battle cruisers are operational.
There's only tanks in the bottom left-hand corner. Maybe Artosis can put together some rates to deal with those tanks and then retake that bottom left-hand corner. He's going to get 12 o'clock online once again, but TerrOr at the same time getting 6 operational here. SCVs are still going down for Artosis. He's losing some down at the bottom left. He's going to come forward here to deal with this army and push this area so he can take 12 o'clock over. But TerrOr is getting a great trade here. The tanks raining down fire on all these Goliaths and tanks of Artosis. He's pushing through. He will take this out, but he took some serious losses, and he gave up the position right in front of TerrOr's natural. Now, a big counterattack coming through as well here on Artosis's one of his last mining bases.
Yeah, Artosis needs to get his money situation straightened up here. He is not in a great spot. Almost mined out this base. The vultures are, I mean, not even that effective here because these SCVs aren't really doing a whole lot, but they are precious to Artosis, who needs to keep his income coming in. Neither player has the gas banks that they need to go into BCs right now, and TerrOr threw his early BCs away almost immediately. I mean, he got rid of the units he needed to get rid of, but man, this match just keeps swinging back and forth. Artosis with another huge supply lead. He just has to lock down his side of the map, and now here he is with another massive fleet of dropships. He might just go for the kill here.
Where, though, is he going to go with these drops? Is he going to go for the main once again? Is he going to try to hit bottom right, maybe bottom center? Maybe he hits bottom left, cleans up all of those tanks, and then takes that base once again. But he's left a big opening here for TerrOr to send his army through over towards that 12 o'clock. That base is likely to go down right away. And he's going to trade for this space here at the center right, but this space is much less important to TerrOr than the 12 o'clock is to Artosis, unfortunately.
Oh, man, Artosis is losing that top base. He's making his big move right now, and if this crushes down that bottom right-hand corner, that could be the lifeline that TerrOr cannot afford to lose. Same move being made, yin and yang, as TerrOr takes that 12 o'clock base. He's getting closer, but I think Artosis has enough back in his own base where all of his production is. It's like the Ruhr River Valley up there. Artosis able to produce what he needs to defend at home while making this big dropship attacking move down south.
This is good. He's getting some vision up there on the high ground. He's hitting onto the high ground, but this is the last mining base right now for Artosis. He's got one mining base right now. He's going to have to lift this off and escape out of this area because he just doesn't have anything at the moment. There's a base going down. There's a command center being built in the bottom left. But there's tanks right on the high ground above that. SCVs being pulled to kill these tanks. And there's one battlecruiser here that's just going to town on the SCVs, killing them off. And eventually it's going to get taken down. It's going to be stopped, but man, a lot of SCVs were thrown away for that play there.
Yeah, a lot of SCVs going down, but look at the move Artosis is making. He's trying to break the back of TerrOr's economy. He's going through into the natural down there and breaking all the way into the main. TerrOr has nothing here to defend. He's got like 2 siege tanks on the high ground and so much more pushing through. He's got even more dropships. Artosis making the big manly dad move down here to drop right on top of everything that TerrOr has. If there's more here for Artosis, he can absolutely win the game right here and make this a battle of attrition. He will absolutely win. It is dropship on dropship, and for right now, it seems to be a crazy stalemate at the 27 minutes into this game. Oh my God, guys, this is game number 1 in a best of 3. We have so much more to go.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous game number 1. We've got dropships heading down here. I think that he's gonna. I think those dropships are actually empty.
Yeah.
And TerrOr's going to pick up a bunch of these tanks and maybe go somewhere with them. I don't know. What's in these dropships right now? And where is he going to go with them? I think he's looking for, where's Artosis' last mining base? Neither player mining right now.
Yeah, oh wow. We had the same thought at the same time, finishing each other's sandwiches. Yeah, there we go. All right. No. I mean, this is a rough spot to be in. Artosis has slightly more, but it's about which units and where, right? TerrOr has this massive dropship fleet that's floating around the bottom half of the map. And if Artosis can just hang on to a base, that's I think if either player can hang on to a base right now, it's not about battle cruisers, it's not about tech or macro or whatever. It's about, can you find a place, make a base and defense it. Some wise words from our Ukrainian overlord.
Yeah, a bit of white raw there shining through. Is that right? White raw? Yeah. There you go. And tank's going to be sieging up here. A much better defensive position for TerrOr down at the 12, or up here at the 12 o'clock. Oh, losing some tanks for free. You cannot be losing anything right now. Artosis, or for free at least. Artosis throwing away a few units there, and he's got nothing to defend these SCVs except for one single Goliath, but TerrOr going to back away. We need to see the liftoff on this command center. Each command center so precious right now. 6 o'clock is going to be mined here by Artosis, but this is an insanely distant base here. It's so hard to hold on to this. No!
Oh, he's gonna lose some of his dropships down here just to try to secure this base. It needs to like land, build an SCV, repair. So much going on, but Artosis may be able to start mining right now. I mean, neither player with any resources, no bases at all mining, but Artosis might be up and running at that fledgling 6 o'clock base. In the meantime, 12 o'clock starting to be mined here by TerrOr. There's just not many options for either one. We are 30 minutes into this game, and it's such a huge stalemate because nobody can get anything started.
Well, Artosis is mining before TerrOr. He's going to start to increase that mineral income. And TerrOr here just kind of sitting right now on 12 o'clock, but he doesn't have many SCVs to mine that location. Looks like Artosis is actually going to head towards this natural. All of the defenses here for TerrOr are at this 12 o'clock, so maybe he can bust through and get in here on the natural, get in on the rally point and the production line of his Terran opponent, and that could be GG. No, bunch of tanks going to be dropped here on the high ground to defend these factories. Artosis is going to have to turn around and run away.
Yeah, he needs to bait this in, but man, Artosis is pulling back. Honestly, this is, it's not even, like, every unit is worth so much because you cannot replace it. If you lose it, it's gone. Artosis is back up in mining just a little bit, but he has a supply deficit right now. He's trying to do something, but I feel like what he needs to do is just get some money, man. It's a hard life out here. And so he's going to send his last remaining units to try to deal with this 12 o'clock, but he doesn't have what he needs here. He might be able to scan, but he's going to get dropped on top of. There come the tanks out of the dropships, and this might just be the final move for TerrOr. Actually, most of what he drops gets taken out. The scan comes through, and somehow Artosis maintains his hold there? I don't know what's up with that, but wow.
He does manage to hold on, and Artosis has more mining right now, but this base is about to come online here, operational for TerrOr. This is a very strange situation here. I have never seen anything quite like this, with Artosis holding a position at the bottom left. Oh god, tanks running in and getting absolutely destroyed there. Cannot try to push into that 12 o'clock. TerrOr has committed way too, or just too much resources to that location for him to break right now. I'd love to see some wraiths being built by Artosis, though, because there's very little in the way of anti-air right now, and TerrOr has like no money to actually build anything besides just like a few vultures. He's not really mining gas right now. He's trying to get his gas geyser online, but he's just so low on SCVs.
So low on everything. Finally, both players back to mining. Artosis even has a little bit of gas income. That stuff is going to be so precious when it comes to remaking these tanks. But man, the supplies are looking rough. I mean, obviously, it's not about the supplies. It's about, can you make a base, defend it, get your money coming back in. I feel like neither player really expected to be in this position, and so they're both sort of making do with what they have. Guys, this is not the build order. We are off the beaten path for sure. So just trying to see if Artosis can just hold on for now. He's doing a great job. For TerrOr, though, it seems like he might be, once again, in a good spot. It's just that neither player's mining, like, at all. And whoever can take out their opponent's mining is going to win the game. Oh, the Rays come in and they snipe the only Goliath. This is actually a decent move for Artosis. There's nothing down there to defend from TerrOr.
Yeah, I just saw Artosis shake his head there a couple of times as some of his tanks were going down, but now that he's gotten in here with those wraiths, this is exactly what I was talking about. Getting some wraiths out here and bombing onto those Goliaths actually may allow him to pick off some of these tanks and open up this position down here in the bottom left. We're having some turrets being built, but he could target down some of these SCVs here and stop this from going on.
Dude, if SCVs kill these raids by repairing and building turrets, you know they're the most broken unit of the game.
Well, more SCVs going to be sent down here. These are all TerrOr's SCVs from the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, mine. No good. Oh, man, that was really, really close. Heart in my throat right there for Artosis, as he almost loses his few remaining tanks to just some shots from those tanks. Vultures get into the 6 o'clock. This is really, really bad right now. No defense down here. Artosis shakes his head one last time. GG. Well, beautiful first game here in this series.
Claps for everybody in the room. Mesmerized, riveted watching One of the best TVTs we've had all day. It's the only TVT, but anyway, still very, very impressive game. Some of the moves there in the middle inspired so many great, I don't know, turnarounds. I had no idea who was going to win that game the whole time, already delivering one of the best series all day.
Absolutely agree with you there, Rapid. That was a fantastic game to start here in Group B. Got plenty more great games here, and it looks like the players are already in the game and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, we have all these great stats prepared by Zero and everybody behind the scenes, making this tournament amazing. It does look amazing, and you can see there players that inspire you: Light, Flash, Rush, and Sharp. One of those players is not like the other, so I can see why Artosis has a lot to say for them. And honestly, there's so much to talk about for that last game. I thought at any moment it could just explode, because as soon as you just barely don't have enough, you just can't fight anymore. So great moves by Artosis. Really good job hanging on by TerrOr there until the very end. I have no idea who's going to win the second game.
I love this question. Your favorite matchup? I hate all the matchups in different ways. That's a that's a great answer.
I mean, you expect nothing.
That's a real Artosis answer right there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, and I think the most important, if you're talking about Artosis answers, one of the most important things right now is you absolutely cannot get in your own head. Right. TVTs are grueling. They are absolutely exhausting when you're playing these 30, 40, 50-minute games. And honestly, if there's anybody that's done more of that, I mean, Artosis has got to be on the list, right? So absolutely looking forward to the second game, and it looks like both of our players are in the lobby, and as soon as they type ready, we will be good to go. The map will be Winter Solstice, and if our players are ready, we are good to go for game number 2 of TerrOr versus Artosis.
Right, we are loaded into map number 2 with Artosis spawning in the top left-hand corner.
And his opponent in the red playing Terran, spawning at the 6 o'clock location. It's TerrOr.
TerrOr's got to be scratching his head like, how did I win that last game, man? That was a close one, but I felt like he was down and out for quite some time. That bottom right-hand corner, the outpost, survived much longer than I anticipated.
Oh, also, some of the moves that TerrOr made right into huge Artosis concaves were not it. And it's right on the other side, too. Artosis definitely struggled to hold on to some of his mining bases there at the end. And, wow, I mean, really, really back and forth. And that's really exciting to see. Obviously, a lot of guys know TerrOr as one of the best South American Protosses you've ever seen anywhere, any country. This guy is... Terran. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. Anyway, and for Artosis, maybe he's a streamer, maybe he's a dad, maybe he's whatever. But after game number 1, he's fucking good. So anyway, it is not. It is so exciting to see this best of 3 unfold. And as we get into game number 2, we're just going back into it. Okay, no proxy raxes, honorable TVTing coming through, and that's what we like to see. Start the fast forward for 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, a lot happened in the early game in that last one. I mean, we got to remember, right? TerrOr got a huge amount of damage with the vultures early on. He killed a hell of a lot of SCVs, and he put a ton of pressure under Artosis while he was trying to transition into Goliath. He hit that supply block. He had a hard early game, and it was still that close. He still managed to get it to that position. So I'm looking here, I'm thinking about it. If Artosis has a clean opener and he does really well here against TerrOr in the beginning of the game, I think he can definitely take this one. He should be favored to win if he does manage to get through that early game.
Yeah, so let's see what we have for openers. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Absolutely identical builds on both sides with I think TerrOr a little bit ahead of schedule, not too bad. So don't quote me on the identical builds thing. I didn't see exactly what was going on in Artie's base here. But finally, speaking of bases, we're gonna get TerrOr coming through. Depot on time. Everybody hitting their build order. Both players up around 400, 450 APM there for TerrOr, so absolutely firing on all cylinders. Our first of hopefully many factories are coming up.
The first factories here, and are the players pulling their SCVs off the gas? Yes, indeed. We're going to have a quicker CC here from TerrOr, and I think Artosis, same story here, only one SCV mining. So again, mirrored builds, 2 Marines apiece, and both players flying their barracks towards each other's base. This is looking like a nice, even early game, and things will start to diverge here pretty soon, but so far, everything looking completely the same.
Yeah, really similar, and you love to see it, right? You were talking about, Artosis, if he has a good early game, then how much stronger is that going to make him? No, I totally agree. I think the more mirrored you get the games, the more standard. If there's one person that absolutely loves standard TVTs, you got to know it's Artosis. So the more cookie cutter we get here, the better it's going to be for Artie. No, I think for TerrOr too, if you're a pro player, if you have a lot of success, if you're confident in your game, you want to play standard. You want to keep it as copacetic as possible. And so, both players just kind of doing what they're doing. At last time we had that real stat check, who has more vultures? Oh my god. But this time around, it's going to be a lot more even. Although I will say TerrOr getting a first couple of shots there on that vulture means that he will win the 1v1. Oh, actually, I think the Marine fired a couple of times behind the micro from Artosis. He gets him.
Very nicely done there. Yeah, the Marine made all the difference in that fight. But Artosis has gone 2 factory, and we've got a starport for TerrOr. So he's going to get in there. He's going to start to deal damage with his Wraith. And are we going to see a follow-up drop here? It's pretty likely, just based on the positioning here of the starport. It's right outside the main base of Artosis. He's going to put on a lot of pressure. We're probably going to see follow-up drops into the main... What? Okay, this Wraith is actually going to head back home, maybe to kill the barracks? That's a little bit interesting. Okay, now it's going to be set up. Okay, there was some sort of wire getting crossed there from territory.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to make this count, right? You don't build raids to have fun. 2 Marines coming, so that's basically an even matchup. No, I mean, obviously the micro coming through here. Yeah, you want to dodge around there. Oh, wait until the Wraith regains its shields. No, it's just playing around. Oh, one more. Oh, he gets the micro done. Is he going to take out 2? No way. Oh my god. TerrOr. Don't do it to him. Oh my god.
Well, it does take 3 Marines generally to kill a Wraith, but he kills the 2. He's going to be able to fall back here, maybe repair and get going again, but he didn't slow down the armory at all. The armory was the main thing that he was trying to get in there to slow down. They killed that SCV that was building the armory, and he wasn't able to do it. Now there's going to be Goliaths out on the field, so all of this that's gone on with these Wraiths, it's not going to matter too much now because, we've got those Goliaths out to defend everything, and they're going to be still useful, providing plenty of scouting information and vision, but they're not going to be able to get real damage done in the main base or the natural of Artosis any further.
Yeah, and that means that this is going to turn into a little bit more of a macro game for now. I mean, I do think Artosis lost a little bit too much there out on the map. You're not going to feel the effects of that right now, but every little bit counts, especially because usually there's expansion, contraction. What's going to happen in this game? And so for right now, Artosis is contracting a little bit back off the map into his own base, TerrOr doing his own thing, and I don't know. I mean, for TerrOr, he's in a great spot, right? He's got his Rays out there giving him map control. He's completely pushed everywhere he wants to be. And Artosis, just getting his macro on, and obviously everything basically exactly the same. So nothing too crazy, although there's the armory for Artosis in the main.
Yeah, Artosis, he could start his upgrade a little bit earlier. He's gone for the armory earlier here because of needing the anti-air. Whereas TerrOr, he's gone for the Wraiths here. He's going to have less gas to actually pump out tanks, and he's not going to have money for an armory just yet. So we could see Artosis with another upgrade advantage in this game.
That upgrade advantage for Artosis was actually huge. You actually pointed out in the first game, being able to take an extra hit is absolutely massive. You can't even play the game when you just go straight up head-to-head. Artosis, unfortunately, a little bit optimistic here with getting this command center up, but it's just a minor delay here. And actually, here's the metagame, right? You start mining your minerals slower so that they last longer into the late game. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. But either way, Artosis is he's doing a great job. He's absolutely on par. His command center was a little bit delayed because it was ahead of TerrOr's. Now, TerrOr might actually be sensing a little bit of blood in the water here. These raids have gotten him a lot of information, and so he knows he can afford to push out on the map and start potentially even a contain on Artosis.
Yeah, he's gonna siege up here pretty close to Artosis' base. Oh, actually, he's backing away now. Did he actually make the drop? Yes, he did. He's gonna drop 2 tanks into the main base, and he's picking up more and sending them in. Oh, the SCVs are gonna be pulled, though. Just jumping on top of this with the SCVs immediately is a great counter.
I mean, yeah, SCVs are no joke, right? And he's gonna have enough, and he's coming around the outside, but obviously, you're not going to be able to accomplish a whole lot here. He takes out those tanks, which is, I mean, no joke, but dealing with these raids proving to be continual annoyance, a pain for Artosis. He kills off those tanks, and actually the question now is, did TerrOr throw away too much there?
Yeah, he lost a lot of tanks, and now Artosis, if he can come across the map and set up a concave in front of his natural, can TerrOr ever break out of that?
Excuse me? I thought Artosis was in trouble here. He pushes all the way across the map. He's sieging the bunker in the front. I think he actually has more tanks here. Oh, pulling the boys. It's time to turn the tables turning up and down, and now we see the exact same thing happening again for Artosis. Losing tanks to SCVs. Is that the level we're on right now?
Yeah, that does seem to be a trend here in this game. Has he spotted the... Oh, God, he left these 3 tanks back at home. I thought he was going to bring those with him.
He actually shook his head. He realized he actually should have pulled everything. And now here we go, round 2. But I don't know if this is going to work out. He had a huge advantage there momentarily. And now he has the Goliath count here. He actually still has a lot more than TerrOr.
Yeah, he had like 6 tanks. If he had 6 tanks there and you pull the SCVs... that's not going to go well for you, especially with the backup of the Goliaths. Like, all the SCVs would have died, and he might have been able to break through here still. He may still be able to break through, but unsieged tanks here. Can he actually get that siege tank at the back for TerrOr? He's killing a lot of SCVs. The Wraiths are getting on top of everything, though. He's trying to kill this Goliath so that even with the scan, he won't be able to deal with that. Yeah, he does kill that, and now he can just back off. The Wraiths will take care of everything.
But still, that's so many SCVs going down there. I mean, where are you gonna? What are you gonna mine the money with? Another Goliath comes in. The cloak energy may be running out a little bit. Does he have the scan that he needs here? Yeah, he does. Absolutely, pushing that Wraith back away. Didn't kill it there, but man, this is so back and forth. The worker count, we can't see it up there on the screen, but you gotta know TerrOr is losing so much. I mean, he obviously is able to make them back at home. So. I think Artosis is in a good spot right now, but I think he tried to slam the door there. He needed to maybe close it a little bit more gradually than trying to make it happen right then.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Artosis, he's thinking ahead here. He had that 3rd base started, and it's now finished. It's ready to go. Oh, God, Goliath's just running in, being killed here. Dumb Goliath sent into their doom. 2 of them go down for free, and the 3rd base is operational, though. We got to give it to Artosis. He, during all of that craziness, during the drop, during the counterattack, everything that was going on, he got the 3rd base operational, and now he's got tons of factors here, and he's going double starport.
And I don't even care about the fighting, right? I mean, obviously, oh, there we go, finally catching that starport out. That's actually a big move from Artosis. Not only is he going to shut down these Wraith production, sure, a couple get out of there, but it's about the economy, right? Keeping TerrOr on 2 bases right now is absolutely massive. I mean, this is an econ battle. Artosis is ahead. He has slightly more army. He's got more econ. He's just now adding on the factories he needs. Artosis is in a great spot.
Yeah, he's in a great spot, and you know what's the big... problem here for TerrOr right now is he's losing that starport. He cannot produce any more Wraiths, and Artosis is making Wraiths right now, whereas TerrOr, I doubt he's making Goliaths in such a rough position here. Like, there's no way he's making Goliaths right now and sending them to the front. Eventually, Artosis is going to have more Wraiths, and then he's going to take the fight. All the Wraiths are going to die, and then everything on the ground will die to the Wraiths.
And this is a huge move right now for Artosis. I would like to see more of maybe a long macro game, but if this works the way Artosis wants it to, he's absolutely going to be able to bust through everything that TerrOr throws at him. So, I mean, the Wraith count's no joke here for TerrOr, but he can't do anything with it, right? I I mean, there's enough Goliaths on the ground to keep Artosis' army safe. TerrOr can't just run into the main base because, I mean, it's raised. So this contain here, I mean, this move from TerrOr might come at maybe the worst possible opportunity.
Yeah, TerrOr has been terrorizing Artosis with his wraiths the entire game, but I think Artosis is about to pull out the Uno reverse card and use his own wraiths to just end this man's whole career. He's gonna come in with the raids here any moment now. I think there's still just a few more raids for TerrOr, but he cannot produce any more raids right now. The raids that we have here are all that he has going for him. Once these are all dead, the air battle will completely go to Artosis. He can just overwhelm and crush this army. Third base is now coming up for TerrOr, but this army is, I mean, where is it going to go from here? It has to head back into the middle of the map if it wants to retreat because there's tanks below this. For Artosis, he's still banking those raids. He's going to wait until he's got like a way bigger supply of raids. Okay, he's only got 5 at the moment, 4 maybe. He needs a bit more than that before he can take that fight wraith on wraith.
In the meantime, TerrOr is trying to make these backstabs happen. He's gotten around on Artosis' flank. Artosis sees it with those couple of vultures, and now he's going to have to pull over. Here comes the cloak, the scan immediately, but there's no anti-air. Okay, there is. He kills off one wraith, but it's wraith on wraith action. He pushes those back away. One more scan. Does he have it? He does hit the scan, takes out that final wraith. There is a turret coming up, and he kills the SCVs. And now Artosis' cloaked wraith. He might not be able to wait as long as he wanted to, but he gets the job done, and now he's going to be able to take out all of these tanks.
Yeah, this is exactly the play that you wanted to have happen here. There's no more raids that can be built. Look, there's armory's not even done yet, and one more starport gonna be building here in the main. Maybe he goes for like a Valkyrie here at this point, but Artosis is just gonna unsiege now that all of these tanks are so low. Some of them have been taken out. The res can fall to the main army. Artosis is gonna shove forward right now. He needs a scan so he doesn't lose anything to these mines. He does get that nice scan. Wow. He's gonna keep shoving forward. GG!
TerrOr taps out, and Artosis has tied the series at 1-1. Damn. www.artosis.com. Go there right now. My God. What a series on our hands. 1-1. I don't know if I saw that happening. Stan, what's going on here?
That was a great move. I mean, the drop, though, from TerrOr into the main, I think was kind of a mistake there. He lost 4 tanks and only traded out for a few SCVs, which gave Artosis a big army advantage to push in towards the natural. He could have actually, I think, ended that game had he remembered to bring all of his tanks with him, but he left 3 back at home. He still got a big advantage off of that play, and he ends up taking it to a win. A great wraith transition at the end as well. That Uno reverse card worked wonders.
No, I mean, you called it. That was exactly the move that he wanted to make happen. I cannot express my entire excitement for this match. It's 1-1 Artosis TerrOr. After this, we do have Julian, who will be playing Zerg. Okay, I lied earlier. It's IOPQ and Julian. I mean, I don't know if Julia... his Zerg is like other, I don't know, it's the 4th race. But either way, he and Squizzin will be playing immediately following the conclusion of this epic series. And should the gods allow, we may have a rematch later on in the tournament. So I cannot wait to get underway. The map will be Paradiso. We don't have TVT stats because they wouldn't be very balanced. But either way, this is going to be the match coming up. Our players are loading into the lobby. It looks like we do have them coming through. They load in instantly and should be ready to go. We're setting up everything. Big shout out to Zero and everybody working out behind the scenes, to get everything looking so beautiful for this 25th anniversary celebration. And everybody out there, wherever you are, for joining us. Yeah, thanks for all the support. It's so cool that we can have 25 years of StarCraft and celebrate it like this in Phuket, Thailand. Our players are ready to go, and that means it's time for game number 3.
All right, our players are completely warmed up now. They've sussed each other out. They're ready to go. Oh no, the first SCV going behind the mineral patches. That's unfortunate. Artosis here in the top left-hand corner in the blue.
And in the bottom left, with all of his SCVs on the correct side of the minerals, this is our Peruvian Terran TerrOr.
Yeah, it's hard to prevent that from happening. It's Yeah, it happens with every race as well. You can end up having them hop over and just make a mess, but it looks like Artosis is not letting it get to him here like he does sometimes on stream. He's gonna knock it off. He's gonna knock it off.
It's after Artosis turns off the stream, he goes into the kitchen and he just like sobs. He's like, I hate pretending to be so angry. No. I mean, everything is good. Artosis is one of the sickest game faces of all time. But also, what you can see whenever he makes a mistake, he has that ooh face, and I love it because honestly, he made some mistakes that last game when he went for the kill after he stopped that initial drop. He was like, oh my god, this is it. And then he lost it and he was like, oh my god, this might not be it. But his every single push stronger than the last. And man, TerrOr has got to work on his ability to build an armory, man. That was a little bit rough. But either way, Artosis, great comeback in game number 2. And now it's all come down to this. Our final game in this best of 3 opening series for Group B, and let's see what we have going on here. Obviously, the last game we had completely identical builds going down to the wall, and so for TerrOr, I wouldn't expect to see anything different. Artosis, though, has got a much faster command center. What is happening here? Oh, barracks. Sorry. What did I swear I saw it. Okay, never mind. All right. Guys, it's a solo cast from now on. I'm done. My casting license has been revoked again.
All right. Well, Barracks is just down here on the low ground. He's going to float that across the map, but just a little bit faster if you place it outside the main base. So let's talk a bit about this map here, Paradiso. It's a kind of a Vermeer-esque map. We've got the ramps in a circular fashion around the map, leading to the different quadrants. And those are going to be the most important locations to hold with your tank lines if we do indeed get to those late game situations. Another thing to note is that there are a ton of bases around the map to grab, and all of them have gas.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Nothing Terrans love more than gas. You can put it into basically every unit you need late game, so that's the point. I mean, maybe that's a platitude. It goes for every race, but especially Terran when it gets into these big battle cruiser battles. We haven't seen them yet. Oh, trying to turn off the notifications. Either way, what was I saying? For TerrOr, I think honestly, the more he slows it down, probably the better it's going to be. When he was out, when he was trying to make that big drop happen, I don't think that's the time. I don't think that's the play. He was trying to make a big move and it didn't work out. We saw that inevitably lead to him not being in a good spot. So probably trying to keep it a little bit slower this time.
Yeah, just taking it slow. Just like we said for that last game, Artosis, if he gets through the early game here unscathed, I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be just feeling great, and he's going to grab his natural here. Again, kind of mirrored builds, but that's to be expected in TVT. Unless you're going for something really crazy, you're going to want to get that first factory out and your command center on low ground. The kind of the exception to that would be going for a gasless fast expand, but I don't think that's really in the wheelhouse here for either player.
I mean, that's what I was thinking when I mistook the barracks for a command center. I'm like, wait a second, is that allowed? No, it's not. And honestly, you do have to keep checking all those boxes. TerrOr is one of the best at making sure that he understands exactly where his opponent is at, and if he sees a weakness, going for it. And so, for Artosis, though, I think he recognizes the respect there, right? He's absolutely staying true, staying honest, no shenanigans or anything like that. He's been able to play toe-to-toe with every time TerrOr comes forward. He's got equal vultures. Well, maybe the one less than that the first game. But game number 2, really, really great defense. So I'm expecting to see the same. What do we have coming up? Second factory on the way. Armory behind here. Pretty standard.
And TerrOr, I was expecting him to go for Vulture War this game because he did so well with it in game number 1, but he's actually gone into a tank here, being a little bit more defensive, more teched out. He might go into a starport as well. Do we have one? No, second factory here in the main base, 2 factory for Artosis as well. He's more going for the mass Vulture play here, the Vulture War, and maybe he can slip by and get a bunch of SCV kills here. Armory on the way now for TerrOr, but this armory going to be finished quite a bit sooner for Artosis. He's adding on his machine shop now. Oh my god, Artosis is just going to run right by this. This is perfect. Run down. Oh no! Where's he going?
Nothing in TerrOr's base. If he had gone for it there, but you got to know the feeling, right? Are you going to make the move that could cost you your entire tournament? Yeah, I don't know about that. He does stop him cold dead in his tracks. 2 tanks here, but no supporting units.
That was a great opportunity to go by, to run by and pick off a whole bunch of SCVs, and now TerrOr is actually pushing him all the way back, and he's got nothing to defend this except for maybe some SCVs. He's gonna have to pull SCVs to kill these tanks. That's not a good situation to be in. He's gonna pull the SCVs, he's gonna bring the Marines as well and try to track these down, but how many SCVs will he end up losing?
I mean, yeah, that's about it. Can you push this back with minimal losses? SCVs, man, how long does it take to kill these things? There's that one big question mark mine in the middle of it. Although these tanks, look at the wall there. Artosis losing everything, and now these 2 tanks survive. This is a massive push. TerrOr might just have too much.
This is really unfortunate, Artosis. I mean, going around the army in that situation would have been so much better, but oh, this mine almost connecting. Gonna go ahead and target that down with the SCV. Very nicely done there by Artosis. More mines gonna come out here. The repair on the tanks and the Goliath is actually really good right now, but the big mine,
and it does, and that means he has to go for it, losing the tank. I mean, the SCVs are going to do their best in the back, but there's just not enough here. 1 unsieged tank left for TerrOr, and only a couple of Goliaths behind this. Artosis taking massive losses, and TerrOr just slamming the door.
That's such a heartbreaker there. Artosis, I mean, he had no option to move. Oh god, a big mine hits there as well. His Goliaths both just about die. One does get sniped there at the end. One does manage to make it back, but he is just about out of this game here with 31 supply to 51. TerrOr is closing the door on him here by just continuing to send tanks across the map and siege up closer and closer to Artosis' natural base.
Yeah, that's right. And as these tanks get closer and closer, nothing but Goliaths coming out from Artosis at this point. So, I mean, the tanks are going to be annoying for a little bit, but sooner, oh no, losing a Goliath for free. Artosis cannot afford to take any more losses here. I think for TerrOr, he's got a great stranglehold right now, and if Artosis has got, he's got to go for it soon. TerrOr knows behind this that he has everything going his way, so he's continuing to macro up, poking in now just a little bit, scanning here, wanting to take out these mines, sending the boys on, and can he get on top of those tanks? The SCV's going deep. There are a couple of vultures here. Artosis doing a great job of busting out, and he will hold on to his natural.
Yeah, he breaks through at kind of a critical point here with only 2 tanks. It's still possible to break out, but if there was 3-4 tanks, that would have been nearly impossible to escape from this kind of chokehold that TerrOr had on his natural. He's got more Goliaths out here, and maybe with just 1 tank right now, I think he might be able to break through this if he can come out with these 7 Goliaths and kill this tank and then keep moving forward. Maybe he can switch the tide, turn the tides here, and actually run over towards TerrOr's base. I mean, he's only producing off of what, 2 factories, 3 factories right now? If he's just popping out a few units, Goliaths can just smash through all of that.
Command center coming down here in the back for TerrOr. I think that's his recognition that he knows he's not doing too bad. Now, the only thing that makes me somewhat question things is that I mean, Artosis does have a bunch of Goliaths, and siege tanks are pretty good, but not just siege tanks. So let's see what Artosis can do. He's going around this force that TerrOr has kind of bodyguarding, and if Artosis can sneak on by, maybe there's some angle here? I don't know.
Oh, dropship gonna load up. Artosis should have seen that. He should have seen the tanks as well. He's going to go after this. Can he just target down the dropship? No, he doesn't target down the dropship. Instead, going for the tanks. He's going to target it now, but there's nothing inside the dropship now, and all of the Goliaths are going to die. I think this might be the death throes here for Artosis.
Man, I thought there's a magical world full of wonder and excitement where the dropship dies with everything inside it. Artosis YOLOs it down into the natural, and that's all she wrote, but unfortunately, there's the cold, hard facts of StarCraft here, and Artosis still woefully far behind after that early defense didn't go his way, and even though he's got more forces coming down, he's not going to like what he sees.
No, he's not going to like what he sees at all, and TerrOr, he's not going to like what he doesn't see either, which is TerrOr taking a base down in the bottom right-hand corner. He's saturating that right now, sending a ton of SCVs down there, and there's nothing that Artosis can do about it. He's got no vultures here to do any harassment. He's got no vision of that base being taken. SCV going to come out here and kind of take some of these tank shots, but tanks are sieged up here for Artosis much quicker, and he's going to take some pretty good trades against these tanks. He's going to get free tanks right now. Free tanks are always nice. Take those free tanks, but still, TerrOr way light years ahead at the moment.
Yeah, no, TerrOr's in a great spot, and Artosis knows it. So Artosis is going to be acting on that and saying, okay, well, what do you want me to do, right? He's got his natural, he's got his main, he's doing the best that he can behind that, but really not a lot of options here. If he's able to pull it back from him from here, it's going to be, macro, hold on, try to defend. But honestly, I mean, there's just so much here. Yeah, that's going to be the doom scan here, and that's kind of when you don't want to have a scan, right? Because it just shows you how much is coming your way.
Yeah, it looks like Artosis is going to hold right here in front of his natural, and while TerrOr has a couple of options here, he can set up a tank line right just outside of the range of these tanks of Artosis, and then set up around his bases and kind of cordon him off onto like 3 bases here. If he can get up on this ridge here on the right-hand side of the screen and hold that area, then Artosis will just be completely trapped. You won't be able to get a 4th base. He might be able to get a 3rd up, but TerrOr's going to take the entire map, and he's just going to run away with it from there. Artosis is setting up 2 tanks here on the high ground. Can that hold on against, what is this, 4 tanks and 5 Goliaths? It's a tough one to hold.
Man, the only thing scarier to Artosis right now than TerrOr's army is a Mario and Luigi TTS. It's too scary for TerrOr, right? For Artosis right now. TerrOr does pull back. Honestly, really impressed. Artosis has 2 tanks on top of that ridge, and it made TerrOr pull all the way back around. It's not just that; it's because Artosis is still putting on pressure down the middle of the map. But oh no, 4 tanks out by themselves. Oh no, gotta pull it back. And now this might be what TerrOr needs to try to close the door. He's got tanks sieged up on the high ground, but does he have supporting units? The Vulture's running right on top of him. Mines being laid in between the tanks right on top. No, mine's getting taken out, but yeah, Artosis has nothing left here. These tanks will fall, and with it, I think Artosis' hopes going down and down, moving absolutely through, steamrolling him. TerrOr shoving his way up the map.
This is the end. This is the death throes here. Artosis, front-facing baby chick. He's not going to be able to hold on. All the tanks are going to go down here. Nice mine connection to finish that last one off. And this is it. Artosis gonna have to tap out. He's pulling the SCVs. He's pulling a fantasy right now, waiting until the very last moment to tap out.
No, you're right. I mean, this is a crucial moment. It's not the end of Artosis' career. He's going to drop down to the loser's bracket after this, but for all intents and purposes, there it is. The GG comes through, and TerrOr takes game number 2.
Ooh, what a mine there at the end. Yeah, mines made a huge difference in that, in the entirety of that match. Getting some really big connections there. TerrOr, I don't think that the opener was especially good there from him, but it seemed like Artosis just didn't have the correct units to deal with that push out. That first attack, switching into Goliath there didn't end up working out for him very well.
Yeah, I'm also a little bit curious. Obviously, like, Goliaths do really well against mines if you're trying to shove through that.